So we're going to show my screen for just a minute. All right, we're going to go to the second screen right here. All right. Oh, it says week 3 because I didn't change this. It's kind of week 3 on my part, but that's all right. So let's go ahead and Travis, you're recording. We're all good?
Yep, we're recording.
Okay. So, all right. So here we go. Hey, I'm excited, everybody, to be here today. You know, we got a ton of stuff to cover today, which I'm super, super, super excited from. Now, keep in mind, we're always looking at feedback. We're looking at how can we do a better job. We're looking at, how does this whole thing work? And Travis, I just want to double check here real quick. There's no cutting in and out of the audio. We're all good to go. I just had a little message pop up on my screen. Are we okay?
No, man, you sound fine. So, yeah, you're good.
Okay. Well, I'll keep on going. Like I said, if you hear any cut-ups or anything else, send me a text since I can't see the screen, or feel free to interrupt, obviously.
All right, no problem.
So what we do in this, what we do inside of the 6 weeks is we cover a ton of information. Now, I got some feedback recently. Some people said, hey, Kurt, I've already purchased Social Media Ad Genius. This is a little bit of basic information. Want to know when we're going to get in the meat and potatoes. Well, you are going to get in the meat and potatoes today. I always cover foundational stuff, and I always want you to raise your hand to see if you have any questions. Now, I'm telling you, hands down, what we're showing you is a trade. It's very much like being a carpenter. See, the thing is, it doesn't matter what language you speak, what currency you use, or what ethnic background you are from. If you know how to do typical carpentry and construction, if you can put up walls, build cabinets, build doors, put in windows, know how to fix stuff, literally you can get a job anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter if you speak that language or not, or understand anything of that culture. Now, it works the same way with running ads. We show you a lot of foundations, like, for example, going through the avatar. Now, I just sent an email out about this to some students, actually. I've sold hey, let's really talk about your avatar. Let's figure out who they are. Let's figure out exactly where they're at. We've sold that for $500 to $1,000 to clients before, because it all starts in the foundation. Really what you are here is you're a business owner, and I know there's some business owners on here that are consulting and, what I like to say, coaching new business entrepreneurs coming into the market. Remember, the information that we're giving you, yes, you can find inside the tutorials, but I'm also going to add a layer of complexity for it. And then you have Travis and I here as well to answer any of the questions that you have. So I'm going to go rather quick through this presentation. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to log into Facebook. We're going to talk about specifics, and we're going to talk about homework. Because today what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the ads manager. So before we talked about running a like campaign. Now, Travis, what I love is when people tell me, they're like, oh, Kurt, why am I running a like campaign? I'm like, well, I could show you how to run ads out of the gate, but it's going to cost you 5 to 7 times as much. So, Travis, let me ask you a question, because I know this is going to be a complicated one.
Okay.
Travis, would you rather spend $10 to test the pinball machine to see if it works, or the slot machine, let's call it? Would you rather test $10 or $200 for the exact same result?
Clearly, $10.
Are you sure?
Yeah. For the same result?
I love when people, by the way, ask that. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I love when people go, are you sure? No, you know what? I wasn't sure. I was unconfident with myself. Now you have reinstalled in me that I am unsure. You're right. So what we do is we show people how to run a like campaign to quantify for an audience. Now, it's super important. It's the best way that I can say this, and then I want to move on and talk about lots of leads. There comes to be a point, Travis and I talked about this recently, where you have coaching and consulting. I could tell you every reason why, and I'm happy to do that, but I want to make my trainings really short. So if you have so specifically, why do you do that? I know you mentioned you do these likes. What's that for? If you're not understanding the task, let me know. But it's just like I'm sure everybody's seen Karate Kid. A lot of this stuff is wax on, wax off, and then you really start to implement it. So as you're building your business, you're building your clients, you can implement these same things. And by the way, I wouldn't ever tell you something that I have not done or made a lot of money at either. So I'm not going to say I've made tens of millions of dollars, but I can tell you what it's like to run a 7-figure company and start out with no education and nothing in the bank. So you can do it too, and that's the information that Travis and I are giving to you. So let's jump into this next layer. So we learned how to run likes. I'm going to tie that back in a second, but let's talk about getting a lot of leads, right? and talk about getting leads for, whoops, I went a little too fast on that one. I talk here about getting leads for under $1. This is 13,000 leads I got for under $1. This is back in March. People are like, yeah, but Kurt, that's back in March. My main goal for you, and I may have mentioned this before, is really to build a long-term consistent traffic plan. Now, what I mean by a long-term consistent traffic plan is, let me pull up, I'm going to hit this button just a couple more times to highlight everything I want to show you. There we go. You want to be able to do the following. This is a win. You want to be able to sit down with your business partner or your business planning and say, okay, and I'm going to role play like Travis and I. Say, okay, Travis, we got to get some more leads. So this is the second quarter of the year. What do we want to do? Travis is like, oh, you know what's really easy? We've run 3 contests before. Let's just roll out a contest. Great. Now, I know Travis had mentioned before, hey, it's going to take me an hour or 2, even 3 hours to walk you through it. But once you have it down pat, again, tying this into a skill and a trade, you got it knocked out in 5 to 10 minutes. Just because you got it done in 5 to 10 minutes doesn't mean it's super simple. You just understand the processes. See, what the goal is you throw up a really quick page, you know the exact specifics on what to run on the contest, and then you know the exact targeting areas that you want to target as well to really have predictable income and predictable results. It's funny because I know Travis and I have talked about this and laughed before when people are like, oh my goodness, I'm going to spend $500, I have no idea what I'm going to get. Well, you're going to buy data. You're going to get something, and you're here to really help be educated on what that data means so you can make predictable results. So for instance here, this is a client of ours, same client I showed you a year ago, where they pay $27 on the mobile device or $58 on desktop for a $97 sale. I mean, who wouldn't put in $58 to make $97 all day long? I'm also going to teach you just a little bit in this session, a lot more next time, is OCPM. Now what this means is, here's the fancy term, OCPM, optimized cost per metric. Metric? Million?
It's actually Roman numeral for 1,000 impression. That's what it is.
Damn it, thank you. I always screw that one up. By the way, you don't have to know all the answers to make a lot of money at this. Here's what OCPM is. OCPM just means optimized. Optimized for leads, optimized for website visits. It really just comes down to optimize. Well, let me just show you the example. So we're running this client. Our average cost per click is $2.93. Average cost per opt-in is $10.51. And what ended up happening was it would cost us $84 to make a sale, but we only made $61 on a sale, right? You can't really put in 84 to make 61 for very long until you go broke, depending on how much money you have in the bank, right? Well, we hit this one button, and this is by having everything set up correctly, where in 7 days we took this person's profitability and, oh, by the way, you're seeing, Travis, just for you, you are seeing the blonde-haired guy and the other tall guy. They're partners. They teach people how to blog. That's the only other tip I can give you.
Yeah, I know
their exact stats. So you're seeing what's happened over 2 years, right? So we hit one button. Our cost, our revenue obviously goes up, and we look. Our cost per click is now $1.07, not $2.93, and our cost per opt-in to get a lead is $5.75 versus $10.51. I mean, we really cut it in half, right? So we would spend $5.75, but we would make $7.30. Again, how many people would put in $5.75 into a machine that automatically 24 hours later spit out $7.30, right? As much money as you can get your freaking hands on. So what happens is we want to make this predictable. Now, keep in mind, I'm showing you stats from March 2011. And I tell you that we keep this updated. So, okay, let's fast forward on this baby 8 months later. Let's take a look and see what this looks like. Well, specifically, here's what it looks like. By the way, remember how I was telling you we were getting $5 cost per leads? Look at this, average cost per opt-in, $2.23. If you keep refining this, look at the date, right? This is in December or in January, super important. This is all predictable. So I'm going to give you the basics to do predictable traffic. I mentioned this, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this last week. You know, Travis, honestly, I'm doing so many dang trainings at this point. Sometimes I'm like, I'm pretty sure I told this with this, but it's really important. You know, I bought a house for putting things in perspective for $135,000, which was a 30-year loan, right? I was going to pay this thing off over 30 years. It took me a lot to qualify for it since it was my first house. But last year, really in the last 4 or 5 months, we spent $230,000 cash in our paid traffic. That doesn't mean I had $200,000 laying around. That didn't even mean I have $1,000 laying around. What that means is I tested traffic to figure out what does it take to put in $1 and at least make $1.01. Because now all my marketing's paid for and I get leads and I'm getting sales and customers, even though I'm only making a penny. See, the thing is my saying is, and I'm sure I know I've told you this all before, pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered, right? So if I can just make a penny and I can break even, then I can slowly adjusting things where over the long term, I can put in $1 and make $1.25. So if you put in $1 and get $1.25 and you put that money back in, you get $1.25 and you keep on slowly tweaking it, then it starts turning into you put $1,000 in, you get $1,200 out. Put another $1,000 in, you get $1,100 out. Notice I'm $300 up. Put $1,000 in, you get $700. Well, now I'm pretty much broke even for everything. But wait a minute, I just went through a scenario where I spent $4,000, got a bunch of leads, and broke even. That's a really good scenario. And a lot of people think the quickest way to make a very successful business is to sell the most as much as possible, as fast as possible. And quite honestly, business just doesn't work like that. And what it does is it takes time to figure out what are those numbers. So I'm showing you how to run the likes to build everything that I'm showing you right here. So 8, 10, 12, 15 months down the line, you or your clients can do very, very, very well with predictable traffic. All right, so here's the other thing, by the way, I love to show people. Some of you may have seen this before with me. It is, look, we're going to target the exact same people, and it's going to be we were selling a water filter for 150 bucks. We would put in 122 to make 150. It's not bad, making some money, right? But I did one thing called the overlay, and then what ends up happening is, I'm going to show you how to set all this up. That dramatically dropped the cost per acquisition, cost per sale, so it was $56.26 for a $150 product, right? We put 56 in to make 150 back out. So all of this that we're teaching you here is really important, and I hit the button too fast. It's all proven, consistently apply this, produce a long-term plan, it's predictable and scalable with traffic. I'm happy to show you my ad account. I can't show you clients because they sign an NDA, but this is all stuff that we've used over and over and over and is very predictable. I'm telling you, when you can start getting to the point where you're at $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day, and you're breaking even or a little bit more, man, all of a sudden you get thousands of opt-ins and leads. And it's pretty easy to make your money back when you got not just 3 leads, but 300 or especially 3,000 to send out another offer. And this is really getting in more of how do you treat your online business like an actual business. But let's talk about the stuff that's predictable. Here's what we're going to cover. We're going to cover what Facebook teaches. Now, this is really important. Again, I'm going to tie in Ads Manager, but this is important for you to understand the following. I am going to show you what is possible, these next couple of slides, and then I'm going to tie it into how we're going to move from likes to boost page posts into moving into running ads. Now, if you're already running ads, that is absolutely fine. You're a little bit ahead of the training, not a problem, but I lay everything out in a foundation so I can build from one thing to another to lead really to this point right here so you understand how to do this whole thing. All right, so again, I'm going to give you the 10,000 foot view here, and then Travis, if you think I go too fast, slow me down, and I will show you how to apply all of this. So I'm going to draw it out, and then you're going to be able to see the action. So a lot of people think I'm going to run a Facebook ad, and it's going to make me a lot of money. But your Facebook ad must run into some type of funnel. The problem is a lot of people get locked out of Facebook money because they don't have this funnel figured out. They don't have a contest. They don't have their avatar plan. They don't have how am I going to follow up with someone. They don't have any of this plan. They get a lead, and then that's what happens. They spend a whole lot of effort getting a picture together, putting up an ad, and then they're like, oh, crap, my ads didn't work. No, you didn't follow up. It's like going on a date and saying, hey, how are you? Man, I'm doing great. And then not saying anything and then just walking away from the table. The other person's like, what did I do? What happened? They just left. You got to continue on the conversation, right? So here's what we're going to do. The money is really into a funnel. Now, keep in mind, this can be a contest for a funnel. This can, or your funnel can be a contest. It can be an email follow-up. It can be the way that you follow up with people, but you must be running an ad that starts a story and continues on over into a funnel. This is very, very, very important. Now, we got our guy, okay? This is our little avatar right here. I'm going to call this guy Mark. So I want to take a look at Mark, and I want to see everything that Mark does in our funnel, because he's going to make what we're going to call micro commitments. He makes a micro commitment and clicks on the ad. That means he's slightly interested. He goes right on our ad to our landing page or our contest. Okay, he's at our contest. That's great. Now I want to track in every part. What does he do next? He's on our landing page or he's on our contest page. Did they enter the contest? Yes, they entered the contest. Great. I sent him an email about some follow-up. Did they read the email? Okay, I want to know, how are we following up? Did they follow up on the second email? Well, okay, they visited my sales page. They came to my webinar. They came to my video where I announced the winner. That's great. I mean, they clicked on an ad. They entered in the contest. They got a couple of emails. Now we're increasing multiple exposures. This is really important. All right, so here's what happens. And then they fill out the form and then they buy from you, right? We want to find out what steps do people have to go through for people to buy through you. All right, so let's talk about a conversion pixel. Now those two words sometimes frustrate people or make people's blood boil. It's really quite simple. A conversion pixel, it's going to be a little cookie. It's going to be a little piece of internet code that you can put onto a website. Travis has the exact spot of where you can put it in for contest nomination. Now, that requires, Travis, remind me of the language again, please. It requires
just that you're on
right?
the business account to use third-party scripts such as conversion tracking pixels and retargeting pixels.
Yeah, very, very, very important. Definitely use those. Definitely upgrade to use that. You know, it's funny, Travis, I will say this, and again, I love all of our students on here. This was reference to another student that we were talking about in one of my other programs, where people are like, oh, I don't know, should I spend that extra $50 or $100? And I'm thinking, if we drive down Main Street, every single business owner here has spent thousands of dollars to get their business on Main Street before anybody even walks in. $24, $50, $100, $500. Look at not what does it cost me, but how much is it going to make me, and learn those processes that you can repeat over and over and over and over. See, Facebook wants to reward you for constantly investing in your business, and this is where people screw up a lot. The reason is because they'll put some money at Facebook and say the ads don't work. Well, Facebook actually hasn't done the hard work for you. So I'm going to show you how Facebook's going to do all the hard work for you. So there's this little, again, I'm going to show you the steps on how to do this, but there's this little conversion pixel. And all it is a little piece of code. Facebook says, look, place this little piece of code on every single page that has a goal, every page. All right, so person's going to click on my ad. They're going to go from my ad, and they're going to go to my landing page or my contest. So I'm going to put a conversion pixel on that page, okay? Very easy. You always put it in the header, but Facebook has instructions on how to do this. But I'm going to put a code, a separate conversion code on each separate goal page that I have, okay? And again, don't worry if you're not getting all the details right now, because I'm going to go over this step by step, exactly what buttons to hit. I just want to give you that real good overview of what's going on. So I want to track Mark step by step wherever he goes. So okay, so one of the goals is, okay, at least I got him to the landing page. I mean, he clicked on the ad, got the landing page. That's great. Okay, now the next thing is if he enters my contest or opts in. Oh, okay, I want to know that. So that's the second conversion pixel. Now, I want to know when Mark goes and gets my first follow-up email. That could be a third conversion pixel. And I'm going to show you where we're going to set this up here in a second. This is really important. See, I also want to have a pixel, if possible. I want to track when Mark is going looking at my buy process. This is literally where he is looking at, actually, let's imagine he's at a flower shop. Takes flowers, puts it in a shopping cart, his phone rings, and he walks out of the building. So this is the one part that we want to make sure. I want to track everyone that's going to that page because it's going to give me super important information. And of course, I want to track all the buyers. So as you can see here, I have 5 different conversion pixels. So it's 5 small little pieces of data, 5 different pages that my avatar is going to land on. I want to track every goal page, and it's a goal when they move one step forward. All right. Once you set this up, see, I have you run like traffic now, because if you're running regular traffic without having your pixels set up, it's like throwing money outside of a moving car and saying, I'm not understanding where I'm not getting customers. We got to leave them a trail and have Facebook do all the work. So I got some questions last week. Hey, Kurt, you taught us how to do likes, but I want to run ads. I know you want to run ads. I just want to show you the most effective, efficient way that I've done with literally hundreds of other students to say, okay, let's make sure that these pixels are in place. So when we start spending money, we're investing money in buying data, and we're investing in the conversion pixel so Facebook can learn from our audience. Very important, okay? Now here's what's going to happen. So I'm going to track each one of the goal pages. See how Mark has his little cookie right back on his back, right? Goal, he clicked on the ad and goes to my landing page or my contest page. Goal, opts in. Goal, looks at the next thing. Goal, looks at the next thing, ready to buy, or shows up to see my video to see if they won the contest. That's a goal. And then, of course, the goal of buying. Well, we have something also called an audience pixel. You're going to place it the same place you place a conversion pixel. Facebook has two pieces of data. Here's what the audience pixel is. The fortune is in the follow-up. So Facebook's going to allow you to build an audience from when people land on specific pages. So, I have an email opt. When someone opts in, I can follow up with an email request. But if they go to my landing page and they don't opt in, how do I ever follow up with them? Well, you can do that with an audience pixel, or what some people call retargeting. So I want to take a look at, okay, I want to follow up with people that go to my landing page, but then leave. They didn't opt in. Or I can follow up with people who have opted in. They said, thank you. I can follow up with people because I know of their interest. I can show them a little bit different ad. Or when someone goes to my sales page and they're thinking about buying, they put the flowers in the cart, but then they walk away, I know I can target those specific people as well too. And I want to know who the buyers are in Facebook. So watch how this all comes together. This is what we call funnel targeting. Money's in the follow-up, okay? This is where you start running enough traffic, where we see the trends, where you can predict, or Travis and I can sit down, and I can say, Travis, here we want to run a contest. Great, what kind of contest do you want to do? He picks out the prizes because he knows what to pick. Takes 5 minutes to set it up, maybe a half an hour to strategize and really think about our avatar and the prizes and stuff like that. Great, we got that all set up, and then we say, okay, what's our budget? Well, we want to generate 100 customers. Each customer, typically in our business, costs us $25 to get that customer. So I am willing to spend $2,500 on ads. Okay, so then we know exactly what our budget is, we know what to work inside of, and we know our numbers are really predictable. So we have a very, I shouldn't say very rough guess, we have a very close estimate of how many people will enter the contest and buy. Here's the bonus though. If the contest, or when it goes viral and friends start to share the contest, all that's an added bonus. This is really, really important to understand. If you feel that the contest alone will make you a ton of money, you are right, but it's a very small percentage of contests that do that. You must have a marketing plan to get your contest out in front of as many people as possible. That should be your marketing plan and what you predict sales on. When people start to like and share, that's all bonuses. Your main goal is how much does it cost you to get someone to register for the contest, and and out of those people, how many people bought? So what was your average revenue per customer? Really important. Any of the likes, shares, or anything else, it's all bonus payout for you. Now you're running a really predictable business. So let's talk about predictability and funnel targeting. So let's say someone clicks on one of my ads, right? They see one of my videos right here. They click on the ad, and this is where I'm really going to show you the funnel targeting. So they click on the ad, but they don't opt in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remarket them blog articles. Okay, so just because you didn't opt into my contest, just because you didn't opt in about learn these 5 tricks or learn these 5 things to make money online, or learn these 5 things to run your business with small businesses or whatever, just because they didn't like that doesn't mean they don't like some of the other products and services you have. So now I want to set up retargeting or funnel targeting to retarget people who did not join my contest. Now, what happens if they did join my contest? Well, I want to send them a little bit different message. I want to remarket to all opt-ins. Congratulations, you've entered into the contest. So see, we're not only following up with email, but we're following up with ads. You know, a lot of people will take a look and they'll say, oh my goodness, I just found a contest, I hit a button, oh, I wonder if I win, I wonder if I win. And then they forget about it because life gets in the way. You constantly have to be following up with ads. Oh my goodness, I entered this contest, I see these ads everywhere. I'm getting emails once a day, I'm getting a follow-up. Oh, I'm so excited because next week they're going to have a drawing. That's where things get really excited, but you really have to work on that follow-up. And that's why I love that, you know, some people are, or there's a lot of people that are just kind of sort of okay with email follow-up. But if you introduce email follow-up with following up with people with ads, it's super important. I mean, imagine being able to show a different ad to someone who went to your sales page but didn't buy, like a testimonial. So we run a testimonial video. We run videos of like walking through our office or meeting us. Like Michelle, I know you did a couple of videos, which is great. We'll talk about that towards the end of the call. But it's a great way to build rapport. Here's the other thing. Well, what about if someone buys? I want to send them an ad to thank them for buying. It's just connecting me and building me a better rapport. Retargeting, literally, for 2015, can be one of the hottest things that you offer to clients. They just have to run enough traffic to have retargeting. But it is so incredibly powerful. Remember this, last year, 2014, Black Box Social Media from Social Media Ad Genius, our one program, 43% of our revenue came from retargeting ads. Retargeting ads are not going to make your business, but you got to be running enough traffic because there's a lot of money left on the table just because people think you stopped that conversation. So here's what happens. Remember how we talked about the conversion pixel? As you're running traffic for conversions and audience pixels, Facebook starts to learn. And I can say, Facebook, you know all those hundreds of people, it actually takes over 1,000 people, but you know the 1,000 of people that I sent to my contest page that didn't opt in, you hit a button and you create a lookalike traffic for your blog. Okay, so they didn't like this contest, they didn't like this offer, they didn't like this opt-in. Facebook, will you take a look at all of the people who visited this landing page and go out and make a lookalike audience? See, Facebook's going to do all the work for you as long as we set this up right. I mean, imagine this. You get people to opt in to enter your contest. The next time Travis and I run a contest, we can do, you know what, Facebook, will you do me a favor? Out of all the contestants that we had opt in, or all the contestants that we had registered, can you go out and market to people that have a high probability of being a contestant and opting into our contest funnel, please? This is powerful. See, when you're spending money once, you don't have to keep on throwing money out the window. We're investing it and buying data and having Facebook do the work. Again, imagine this. What about buyers? Once you get enough buyers, you can say, Facebook, go out and find me only the people that have a high probability of being a buyer of mine and who like social media for small business. That gets me a super laser targeted group where really this is what happens right here. Facebook does all the work, and then you have to figure out how to carry cash, right? So here's, oh, by the way, one really important note, and it's going to cut out for just a second. Let me show you this. Okay, this is important to show for just a moment. Here's why. We built, so Social Media Ad Genius really started March of last year. I only shared the information inside of Masterminds. We decided to put it into a product March of last year. That's it, okay? When I tell people that we spent $240,000 on Facebook traffic for last year, that's not to sit here to impress you that, hey, we spent a lot of money. It is to show you, and by the way, this is all cash, no credit. It is to show you that I had a couple of $100 in the bank, not thousands, and I put in a couple $100 and I started to figure out, how do I get leads? We started a blog and we started to follow up with regular content and post regular content. This all comes in from the like campaigns I had you run before. Now as people started opting in, I had Facebook go out and find similar audiences for Facebook to opt in. Now I started to get not 20 leads a day, I started to get 50 leads a day, 100 leads a day, 250 leads a day, 300 leads a day. I think our top leads in a day before I had to turn down traffic for lots of different reasons was 458 leads in a day. That's one day. Imagine what starts to happen now when you turn that on for a week or 2 weeks consistently. And then once I started getting buyers, I was able to predictably know how much an opt-in cost me, what my average revenue per opt-in is. Remember, there's only two numbers you really need to know when you're running ads. What is your cost per acquisition? Click-through rate, cost per click, none of that stuff matters. Seriously, I don't care what anybody else tells you. Anything outside of cost per acquisition or average revenue per acquisition is worthless. So many, I'll get off my soapbox in 20 seconds. So many gurus who don't know what they're, like I could cuss lots of times here, who don't know what they're talking about. They're like, you got to get a high click-through rate. You got to get a high engagement rate. One of the things is we get 2-cent clicks. None of that crap matters. It's not even crap. It's shit. None of that shit matters at all unless you're getting leads. It really doesn't. So once you figure out your lead number and then you figure out, okay, if I can get leads for $6 and each lead within 30 days makes me $7, you can spend as much money as you have and it's predictable. So you can spend $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 in marketing in a year and not even think about it because you know the mathematical equation. And again, I started out with just a couple of $100 in testing, very much like you were all in the exact same boat. So very important. Let's set all this up right. Facebook will do all the heavy lifting, and then we just have to be responsible business owners and consistently apply the packages or practices. So here's a couple of things. Facebook tells us to go out, create a fan page. You've already done that. Create engaging content. You always want to be doing a post at least once a week. I mentioned this before. And then we start to advertise, target, measure. Really where you're going to make your most money is in these three areas right here. Really creating a page and create engaging content is really just playing inside the rules of Facebook. So make sure your About Us page is completely filled out for ad compliance. I mentioned that before to you as well. Post engaging content at least once a week. Now, even if you're posting content right now and your fan page is relatively new, excuse me, hang on a second, I got hiccups. Let me take a big old drink. Sorry about that, hiccups went away. That was weird. All right, means I'm talking too fast. So, Facebook organic reach, yes, it's plummeted, I know. At least post once per day. At least once. Sometimes we do twice. Remember we use the 10-4-1 method? The reason that we post once a day is really to play within Facebook's rules. And we're always running at least $5 a day for a like campaign to keep on building our likes, to quantify our audience. And then we're going to see what they engage with. It doesn't matter if you get 1 like or 5 likes or 20 likes. It's great. Have some type of posting engagement content because a lot of times what we do is we find our most popular post and we turn those into ads. Now, as a quick Facebook update, really important, we want to make sure that your ad is congruent, your story is congruent with your landing page or your contest. This is very important. Click here to register for an amazing contest. Well, if people click that, go to the contest, and they're like, I don't want to learn about internet marketing. Excuse me one second. Sorry, I got allergies that are bothering me a little bit. So if they go to the landing page and they're like, well, wait a minute, I didn't want to learn about internet marketing. What's this? And then they click away. That's called a bounce rate. So the problem is Facebook takes a look at your ads and they go, okay, are they congruent with the landing page? If someone clicks on the ad, goes outside of Facebook, is that person happy just looking at that page, or do they bounce back, right? Do they click on the ad? High click-through rate, great. They click on the ad, go to the landing page, but then they bounce back again. So we want to make our ads really congruent. What we do is we want to tell a good story. Now, Travis and I have talked a lot about this, about being in the avatar and really telling a succinct story. And we're going to show you here in just a couple of minutes on how to use this call to action button inside the Ads Manager. But what's important is we want to make sure our ads are telling a story, and then we're moving those stories over into ads, and of course, making sure it's congruent with our landing page message as well. So Let's talk about the type of targeting here on Facebook. And I know some of you are a little familiar with this, but I want to tie this all in together. So you really have three types of targeting. Now, type of targeting, core audience. Now with the core audience, you can of course select interest, location, demographics, even partner categories and behaviors, right? And just to recap basically what that is if we go inside the ads manager and I say, okay, for example, I want to do a boost post, right? One of my posts through the week seem to do pretty well. I want to do a boost post. Okay, great. So we want to boost a specific post. I'm going to type in my interest. Here's some broad interest: business, industry, fitness, wellness, food, drink, or of course behaviors. This is what people purchased. So the financial things they're involved with, media, mobile device user, purchase behavior, residential profiles, they own a house. I mean, these are all what we call interest or keyword targeting. You may have heard me mention before. Well, a lot of you are doing this right now, which is awesome. Now, what happens is that's just the very basic layer. That's like elementary school. Well, custom audiences, we can take a bunch of emails and we can upload emails directly into Facebook. So maybe you have a wedding conference. Maybe you have, excuse me, my allergies again. Maybe you have some place where you collected email addresses or phone numbers. Well, you can upload those directly into Facebook. Facebook will make a match and serve ads specifically to those people. So for instance, you can say, oh, okay, you guys all came out to this event, and you may want to show them an ad. Or these could be all of your customer emails, and you may want to run a special for the holidays where you say, you know what, I don't want my current customers to see my $100 off my special. So this is a way that you can exclude people from seeing your ads. Now, one of the most powerful things that Facebook's doing and that we're doing is lookalike audiences, where Facebook takes a look at, okay, what about these names that you uploaded or people on your website? How do we create a look-alike audience? Literally, where we can really see, kind of like I showed you in that cookie, right? As Facebook learns more and more, those are called look-alike audiences. So you're going to use a custom audience to run ads to tell customers about a new product. If customers have already bought from you, they have a higher probability of buying again. Or everyone who registers for your contest, you're going to want to be able to send them an email and have a very specific ad that says, attention, the winner is being selected tonight. Make sure you watch this video to see if you are a winner. Super important. And you want to also be able to retarget those people by email and by ads. Sorry you weren't a winner, or were not a winner. However, we have something amazing for you. You close customers out. You continue on that story. The way you do this is we log inside the ads manager. You're going to go to audiences. Inside of audiences, you go to create audience. Oops. Custom audience. Now inside custom audience, you can upload emails or phone numbers. Now it says Facebook user IDs. Do not ever upload Facebook user IDs. Unless you know how to do applications, it'll get your Facebook account banned. Someone asked me about this the other day. They're like, Kurt, I heard I can look at a web page or, excuse me, hey Kurt, I looked and I found a fan page that looks like they could be my fans, so I scraped them and uploaded them to Facebook. What do you think about that? Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, great. If you do know what I'm talking about, don't ever do it unless you get your account banned. Now, if you want to say, hey, Kurt, my friends, cousins, uncles, sister scrape their IDs and they're fine, we use them all the time, I will always challenge you with this. My goal is to show you how to grow a long-term predictable business. I would say they have a short-term junky hobby because it'll get shut down. They're not able to reassist it. So I keep all my stuff white, squeaky clean. And the reason that I do that is super important is because I want to have a long-term business. You know, I don't want to make, I don't want to make $100,000 in a week. I don't want to make $100 in a week. All I want to do is I want to know how to make $250 every single day from now until the end of the year. And it all works with compounding effect, right? Well, here's the other thing. Excuse me, you can upload a file, copy and paste your custom list, or you can target website traffic. So remember when I said the fortunes and the follow-up? This is right where you would select it. You would pick one. So by the way, one code, okay? can fit on all over your site. So one piece of audience code. It's the same everywhere you put it. Each account gets one piece of code. And what you're able to do is, okay, anyone who visits your website, you can target anybody who visits your website. Or you can target people who only visit specific pages. So this is how you target people who only went to your landing page but did not go to the thank you page. I want to target people who have gone to my website but haven't visited in the last 2 weeks. See, this can be huge for your business as you really think about your follow-up. You should really be thinking about your follow-up email sequence. How do you follow up with people once they click on an ad or engage with your brand on a landing page? How do you follow up through email, and how do you follow up through ads? Very important. So you're going to put in a website, and you can select to even up to 180 days to retarget people. So again, it's one piece of small code you put on every single page that you want to track, and literally, if you wanted to, you could create a separate ad for each separate step that someone takes. This is really important. Now, targeting, lookalike. This is really where the money hits the road, tires hit the road, rubber meets the road. Man, I should really give up on analogies. But basically, here's what we do. Is once you get the audience and conversion pixels going, and you're running traffic on a regular basis, and you're producing likes on a regular basis, Facebook will go out and make you lookalike audiences that you can target. Now take a look. This is important. When you go into audiences and create a lookalike audience, look, you can create an audience by using a custom audience. That's the little pixel or code like I showed you with the fortune cookie. Or your conversion tracking pixel. You can make a lookalike audience of people who opted in or people who bought. This is huge, right? Or your fan page. This is why we have you run likes, so you can run a similar audience. Plus, not only do we have a place to where you run likes, but this is where your audience insights becomes huge, because you can look at audience insights from a custom audience, a conversion tracking pixel, or a fan page. See, all of this stuff ties in together. And then, by the way, what will happen is once you have over 1,000 people from, let's say, the United States, so you have 1,000 people from the United States, and they opt in, then what I can do is I can then create a lookalike audience in that country. So for example, if you run ads in the United States, but you want to create a lookalike audience in Israel, unfortunately you are not going to be able to create a lookalike audience in Israel because you haven't run at least 1,000 people in that audience from that region. So most people, I say, advertise in your own backyard at first. Once you have a couple of thousand clicks and visitors, and you can find out more on Social Media Ad Genius, then you can target that specific country. All right, my most favorite part. This is the tracking conversion pixel, where Facebook says, create a pixel, put it on your website, create ads with conversion tracking pixels, view the reports. I'm actually going to show you the reports more of next week, because what I want to spend time is in this right here today. It is, okay, we've gotten step 1 and step 2 a little bit, but we really got to start talking about promoted posts, dark posts, and advertorials, because a big part of our money is going to be made in funnel targeting and retargeting that I'm going to get into next week. See, what happens is this is one of your homework, and go ahead and write this down. One of your homework pieces is going to be make sure all of your conversion tracking pixels are installed. Conversion tracking pixels and retargeting pixels. And if you have any questions, remember, I want you to use Jing Video to show me what are you looking at and what specific questions do you have. But your goal this week is to get your audience pixel and conversion pixel installed in your contest and sales funnel. Very, very, very important. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how do we turn these winning ads into stuff that's going to target it directly into our funnel. Well, we're going to do that with promoted posts, promoted dark posts, and advertorials. So, excuse me, to recap, you spend a lot of time identifying your avatar. Awesome. As you're pre-qualifying your audience and driving targeted likes, well, then what happens is you can go into audience insights, just like the videos that I gave you before, on where specifically are these people coming from. This is why the like campaign is so incredibly important. Now, engagement's good. You just really need to do one post a day, right? We're not looking for tons of likes, shares, whatever. That's cute, whatever. We're looking for what is the average cost per lead, but we want to play by Facebook's rules. You want to do a thumb stopper as well too. And that is just something where someone will scroll down their newsfeed and stop and watch. Notice I said watch. A lot of times a video can do very, very well for this part. As a reminder, and I'm going to walk you on how to do this, we want to do a boost post at least a minimum of once a week. So we want to use our strategy, our 10-4-1 strategy, and inside of the 10-4-1 content strategy, we want to make sure, okay, we want to find our most popular post, and we want to boost it once per week, right? Really important. And then we're going to boost it once a week for a minimum of 3 days. So all the new likes that are coming in, they're going to be able to see this post, okay? One of the things that you can do as well, like we are really diligent about doing a new blog post every single week. We can do a boost post of our blog post to our fans, friends of fans for 3 days, plus everyone who landed on our opt-in page and maybe opted in or didn't. This means we're going to retarget everyone. So this way, everyone's retargeted with a content post once a week, whether Facebook shows them into it organically or not. This is huge. You do a boost post to your fans and friends of fans for 3 days, at least once per week, and also include in your retargeting audience of anybody who visited your landing page. This is called effective branding. Promoted post. Well, one of the other ways that we can do a promoted post is I can go in the back of Ads Manager and say, I want you to run this post, this boost post, this popular post that I hit the little boost post on, that I'm advertising to my fans, friends of fans. Now I want to advertise this one weekly boost post. I also want to advertise it to my keywords where I am getting the lowest cost likes from my like campaign. See, what happens is the like campaign quantifies the customers, right? Where are they at? Where are the hands out? Who's interested? Cost you 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70 cents versus $2, $5, $8. So what we do is we have a post that once a week we boost to our fans and friends of fans, and retargeting to our list because we have our pixels up, and I'm going to target it to the place where we are getting the most cost-effective likes. So imagine that we're targeting, let's just say, moms who like green smoothies. So I'm looking at my Facebook, and moms who like green smoothies, I guess, I don't know, I'm a mom now, but whatever for the analogy. They're going to see an ad for like this page for green smoothies. Oh, that's interesting, so they like the page. Then they see another like ad come on still, which is great. They're like, oh, that's cool, I like that page. It's nice to see that again. Oh, here's a post that they did, that's interesting. Oh, here's another post they did, that's interesting. Oh, and there's this video that I should go check out this contest. Man, these guys are everywhere, right? That's really building branding. But on the other side of it as well, this is important. Imagine someone who doesn't like your page. They see your like ad that goes up, and they're like, I'm not really interested in smoothie tips. Then they see a blog post, okay, another blog post, okay, another blog post, another blog post. They're like, oh my goodness, I've always wanted to have some great kale recipes. This is awesome. I've been seeing this page all over. It must be pretty popular. Oh, I got to check this article out. If they made a micro commitment to click on your ad and come over to your page, keep following up. Now, promoted a dark post is, and again, I'm going to walk you through this here in just a moment, but a promoted dark post is basically a post that you're going to advertise in other people's news feeds that does not appear on your fan page. Now, we're going to be really specific. I'm not going to spend too much time here, but we want to make sure that our ads just basically fit in, just like Google. Their ads fit in with their organic search results. This is called native advertising. And what basically happens is we're able to advertise and have our advertisements look just like the posts that are inside Facebook. The main reason that this is so important is because there's less display inventory. Facebook's making the ads bigger, but that also means that they're taking ads away. So we want to make sure that our ads are as effective as possible. And we want to create stories. You know, we want to start with a story on Facebook, lead it over to our contest, tell the rest of the story in the contest, and say, to participate in the story, to participate with us, to participate in the contest, register for the contest now. The winner will be announced X day. Start with a story. If you're starting with, buy now, check this one trick out, learn how to make X amount of money tomorrow, not going to happen. You got to start out with a story that's congruent from your ads to your landing page and the follow-up. Now, of course, we're going to talk more about funnel targeting next week, but you got to get your pixels, your audience pixels and your conversion pixels all set up. So here's the Facebook sales funnel. Here's an example. We've talked about this before. We're going to get the attention, attraction, and marketing to get people into our funnel really for our contest to make us sales, build raving fans, and we can sell other high-ticket items if that's what we want to do. So attracting the likes is the attention. The attraction is really doing the boost post, figuring out what people like. And from there, from one of those cost-effective, simple, basic learning basics, then we really crank up our marketing to determine how do we put in $1 and get $1.01 back out. And retargeting. I mean, retargeting can pick up people that have already raised their hand that say that they're mildly interested. We just have to follow up with them properly. That's it. You know, my favorite piece to this is as you set up these pixels, the conversion pixels and the audience pixels, what's going to happen is you are going to see that very quickly Facebook's going to start optimizing your traffic for you. Now, I got to say, when I say very quickly, remember, as you're spending money on Facebook, you're buying data. So if you, for example, spend $5 a day for the next 5 days, that's $25. That's great. But out of $25, Facebook's not going to learn enough in their pixels to be able to create similar audiences. What you have to do is you have to have at least 1,000 people visit a page before you can before you can create a similar audience. And that is, for example, if you want to find out people from your who land on your website but don't opt in, those people are perfect for your blog. Or once you get 1,000 opt-ins, you're able to create a similar audience. So really important as you're going through this information is you're always consistently running ads. So don't stop running ads. Always be running a like campaign. You're always testing against your like campaign. But here's what happens. Here's the best part. Once it's all set up, Facebook's going to do the hard part for you. Reminder, conversion pixels. This is where you're going to track and optimize your campaigns. Now remember, it's so with tracking, but this is going to help Facebook optimize your campaigns. Optimize for clicks. I want clicks on my contest. Leads. I want more contestants to register. Sales. I want to target people that have a high probability of buying. Each goal page, each page you want someone to land on and look at, you'll want to optimize with Facebook. You'll need a conversion pixel. When you log into Ads Manager, you click on Conversion Pixel. At the very top right-hand side, you click on Create a Pixel, and you name it, whatever you want, but those are your categories. Now, I'm going to review this just real quick with people. I mean, really, you can label it whatever you want. Like, Facebook's not going to say, oh, you selected checkout, but it was actually a lead. Like, doesn't matter. You can call it whatever you want. But here's the way that that this is basically laid out. And I'm going to go from the bottom up because it makes more sense. Other website conversions. Did someone see my blog post? That could be another website conversion, right? Did they see this web post? Great. I'm just going to retarget anybody, or I'm going to set a conversion pixel for anybody who goes to this one page. Great. Add to cart. They put the flowers in the cart, but then they didn't buy. They left. So they got ready to buy, but they didn't buy. Key page views. Key page view could mean that someone landed specifically on a page that you wanted people to see. It's great. Not a big deal, right? Now, the next one, leads. Well, those are leads. Leads are registrations. It's really the same thing. It's whatever you want to call it, right? And then checkouts, meaning someone bought. What we're looking for is this. Webinar landing page. Okay, we want to get as many people to our key page view as possible. That's our first page. Okay, we're starting to get leads. We're getting 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Once we get 50 leads, now I want to go ahead and say, okay, now I want to optimize for leads. Facebook, go out and find me leads. Typically, I don't like Facebook to go out and find me leads until they've at least got 100 leads from me wanting webinar or key page views. I run key page views. Once I get 100 leads, I say, Facebook, I'm going to optimize for you to go get me leads, which I'm going to show you how to do. Facebook, I'm going to optimize for you to go get me leads. And then what's going to happen then is once I start making sales, then what I want to say is, Facebook, I want you to go out and find me only sales. But again, I need to have 100 leads before I tell Facebook to go out and get me leads. I need to have 100 sales before I tell Facebook, go out and find me sales. Now, as a review, the audience pixel, and then I want to show you a quick case study, then I'm going to walk you through this quickly on Facebook. The audience pixel. Create a custom audience by uploading a list of names and phone numbers, okay? Or we can create a retargeting pixel where Facebook's going to do the work, right? Here's what's going to happen. A friend of mine, Todd Brown, someone that Travis knows as well too, sent out an email to his list. These are a list of people that he had, right? He sends out an email, and he basically says, hey, look, well, actually, he didn't really have a funnel. What he had is he goes, hey, everybody, I want you to come check out this video that I'm going to do on a live hangout with Kurt Molly. That's it. See, what happens is I'll show you where to get this little thing at right here. But basically, anybody who landed on this page to watch a video, they didn't even have to opt in. They just watched this video. This is a hangout. We were able to retarget anybody who landed on this page. So we were able to show ads to people who just watched our live hangout. At the end of the hangout, Todd says, oh my goodness, this is absolutely amazing. If you could do me a favor right down below, opt in. I'm going to have an upcoming webinar with Kurt. Great. So here's what I did. Is we had a webinar. As soon as someone opted into my webinar, either they opted in or I'm retargeting them because they watched me on the hangout. So here's what happens. As soon as they opted in, they saw a video with me. Now the video right here is just me. Hi, my name's Kurt Molly. Let me explain a little bit who I am. Let me show you the bunker just a little bit. Don't forget to register for this upcoming event. So they saw the ad, maybe to hang out with me. This is the third contact they've had with me. And as soon as they opt in, I tell them, as soon as you opt in, you will see a special video in your newsfeed that gives you a little bit of extra bonus content. So now what happens is people are able to see me again for another exposure, and I'm giving them a follow-up as well. Don't think that you're following up with someone too much with retargeting. What's important is you continue along the story. Hi, Todd Brown says, hey, everybody, why don't you meet my friend Kurt? Come to a hangout. They see me on the hangout. And then Todd says, why don't you opt in down below and join one of Kurt's webinars? Great. Now when they opt in, they see my face. They go online, they see my face with another content, some other video. See, it says, it's a reminder, see you on the webinar. Don't forget, you're registered. Here's another tip. Great. And also, when people are going through my funnel, and once we have announced the winner, once my webinar is done, I can now turn on my retargeting and say, okay, anybody who registered to be a contestant, go show them the replay of when we announced. Remember, people don't buy for two main reasons. One, they do not get enough information to buy. Two, they do not understand the reason to buy why and right now. Very important. They're like, well, okay, I could buy this now or next week. I'll just wait next week. They don't have enough urgency to buy now. So I retarget the very last day of my special, the very last day of my contest before the winner, the very last day before my special ends after the contest, and I run an ad with a final notice. And I've literally spent $297. Actually, here I'll show you. I've actually spent, and this is super important. Like, I can't convey to you how important this is. Hang on one second. We'll pull this up. History. This is on the other side. Here we go. Travis, I haven't even showed you this yet, so watch this. See how well people can see this. Look, I got 201 clicks. I spent $142. I made $5,247. So literally, just to do the math. So here's what happened. I put $71 into the money-making machine, or sorry, I put 71 cents per click into the money-making machine. The 71 cents per click turned into $26.10. I mean, who would not put 71 cents into a machine to have an immediate $26 come back out, right? It's just smart.
That's an awesome return. I just want to point out, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people listening. I can see that not everyone is actually watching the screen. So can you pull that back up for a second?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for those that are here, it's important that you see this. I mean, it's the real deal. This is just one video. Like,
I was just showing this. Actually, we're going to go to traffic and conversion. I was just showing this to one of the guys who puts on the event last night. This is a guy that's going to have 3,000 people at his event. But yeah, there you go. Take a look at the numbers.
Yeah, this is just definitely something that I wanted to draw attention to, because I know we're doing a lot of information. It's easy for the golden nuggets to kind of blend in with everything else. But this is something I wanted to call out, because just showing everyone how important and powerful retargeting can actually be.
It really is. And again, this is just like any other trade out there. It's just something that you have to consistently practice on. And it's not super difficult, but basically you just have to do the same thing over and over and over, and you really start to learn from it. It's like application is super, super, super important. So, all right. So let me close this down here for just a second. All right. Hang on, I gotta shut the door. Somebody walked in here. They opened the door. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So here's what we have right here is buyers. This is one of the best ways to connect with your buyers. We'll even do a thank you video just for buyers. It's really important. So for the next steps, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to look over level 2 inside of Social Media Ad Genius, post page engagement, ad set, create a dark post image, create dark post videos. I'm going to walk you through this real quick with the ads manager, but it's really important to go through Social Media Ad Genius. Now, I got some feedback over last week. They're like, Kurt, why'd you tell us to go to Social Media Ad Genius? You taught us here. Right, it's your manual. Follow your manual. It's really important to follow your manual and ask as many questions as possible. Very, very, very important. You have 6 weeks with 2 owners. That's really important to ask as many questions as you can. Unequivocally, I can show you how to convert this traffic. So very important. Spend some time here inside the manual. The other thing is we tell people is, now that my screen got locked up, whoops. You want to take all the information that we talked about today. We want to test, we want to monitor and review, we want to improve, we want to quantify results, share results, and monitor for changes. Always, 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 always. So whatever I teach you, what you want to do is you want to test, you want to monitor and review, improve, quantify results, share results, and again, monitor for changes. Sharing the results is great inside the Facebook group or in here as well too. I'm starting to get some questions. Not a problem. Keep typing your questions. I got a couple more things to show you. By the way, remember, all of you for the first 30 days when you joined us, you all get access to the Insiders Club, which other than that, it's $47 a month. You should be able to make at least $500 from what I teach you in the Insiders Club. And the Insiders Club is for Social Media Ad Genius to really support you on traffic. There's over 500 people there. But in the very first post, you can click on a link, and literally there's 100 plus videos that lead you step by step. Like, for example, here's what you need to know for compliance. You have questions on conversion pixels. These are when people would ask questions, I'd record videos. So just to go through your support options. Inside of the Facebook group for contest domination, we are going to talk about the exact process that you are all going through for 6 weeks. That is your intimate, very select group class of people for you to engage with. Now, if you say, hey, Kurt, I just want to find some answers that you guys have been working on that's highly effective inside the Insiders Club, great, look inside there. It's like walking into a massive library with lots of amazing information. You can even go to the page and go search this group, type in pixels, conversion, retargeting. You're going to get a ton of information. But I want to know where you can look and where you can also answer or ask questions as well. So I'm going to answer, I got a couple of questions here, then of course I want to take you through the amazing ads manager here for just a moment. But Michelle, it looks like, said that you were doing a dark post. Look, the setup has changed. I tried doing a dark post, but it looks like the setup's changed. One of the frustrating things about Facebook is depending on how old your ad account is and depending on how often you use it in the latest updates, sometimes they can look different than others. So let's go through this here real quick, okay? So let me go try to increase my screen size for you. Whoa, that's like a blind dude. All right, here we go. I'm going to come over here, top right-hand side. I'm going to go over to my ads manager, manage ads. Whose account am I underneath? You can tell where I don't censor it out. See, we spent some money on Facebook. Why don't I see BBS? That's fine. All right, so here we are. So when I take a look, for instance, like at the page lights that so now we're inside the ads manager, right? I can create an ad, which I know that all of you are very familiar with, right? I'm going to spend 30 seconds on this because it's changed just a little bit, but not much. And I just had it in the slide for you as well, too. Looks like it's taking me just a little bit longer to load the page. That's fine. I will wait for that to load here for a second. Having a problem with the page is open for some reason. That's all right. All right, so this will list my campaigns, right? We'll take a look at my light campaign here in just a second. I'm actually updating and recording some new reporting videos. They just rolled out some awesome things inside of Facebook reporting. I mean, absolutely just awesome. They can tell me, where am I getting my best likes? What's the age? What's the gender? What is that? Now, I want to be sensitive on everybody's time. I'm actually working on these videos this week for Inside Social Media Ad Genius, for our other masterminds, for you all as well too. But man, they got some killer reporting stuff I'll record for you here later this week. Probably a little bit more tomorrow and then later on Thursday. Here's your audience insights to learn about your audience, right? You have your regular settings. If you want to add anybody to your page, you can do that. We have our regular billing, right? All of our billing information, conversion tracking. So this is where we're going to set up the conversion codes. So each one of our goal pages. Power Editor. We're going to go over this more next week. Power Editor, some people say it's a little bit easier to use. Power Editor is like what I like to say is the enterprise edition of how to load ads. The thing is with Power Editor, I can show you lots of great, amazing things to do with it. But if I don't show you the fundamentals, what happens is it makes it really easy to copy and paste and duplicate campaigns. That's awesome. But if there's a mistake in there, now it's a big ass problem. So I'm going to show you how to overcome that, but we're going to work with a lot of Power Editor next week. Account history, and again, this is really just the history of anything that's happened with your account. Audiences, this is your retargeting audiences. And then the Help Center and advertising support. Okay? Now, as I go to advertise on Facebook, send people to my website, right? I'm just going to send people to a specific page. When you start a contest, you should always send people to your website. You want to make sure that your conversion tracking is in place. You want to make sure that your audience is in place. But you're going to send people to your website for your first campaign. That's going to get as many people over to your website as possible. Increase conversions on your website. You will optimize for conversions only after you have 100 people register or opt in or become contestants. Okay? So you send people to your website first, let the pixel learn only after 100 people, then turn on increase conversions for your website. So if I click on this objective, Social Media Ad Genius, okay? I'm going to track Social Media Ad Genius, and I want Facebook to track people when they make a $297 purchase for Social Media Ad Genius. And I'm going to have Facebook optimize towards my conversion. I'm going to show you this here in just a second. Only after, again, you have 100 opt-ins. Important. I'm going to put in all my targeting, United States, 1865. Okay? $5. Now for this, I'd spend like $10 or $15 a day because I might get $8 or $9 leads to start out. I want more than a couple a day just so I can get some quantifiable numbers. Optimize for website conversions. Again, only after you have 100 opt-ins. Otherwise, impressions. So we'll serve your ads to as many people as possible over and over and over. You will almost never use impressions. unless you're doing retargeting that I will talk about more next week, you will never use impressions. Daily unique reach. This means that everyone you're trying to serve your ad to, they're only going to see it once a day, which is fine if you are closing out an event. I will talk more about this later. You will almost never use impressions. You will almost close to never use daily reach. Clicks are people who are going to click on your ad, like, comment, share. It's a click. That's all it is. It's a click. So what's really important is we want to target website conversions, because remember, the only two numbers we really care about are cost per registrant, cost per lead, or cost per contest attendee, contest registrant, and average revenue per registrant. Okay? So you're going to want to do website clicks till you get 100 opt-ins, and then you're going to start a new campaign and do website conversions. Okay? Now, what's important about this? Let's go back. Let's go back here. So boost post, again, is just finding, for example, finding a successful post that had worked for you through the week. So there we go. Well, I'll do social media in 7 minutes. Now, when I'm doing a post page engagement, remember, this is a post directly off my fan page. Okay? This is where I would go into a custom audience, because the custom audience, this is where I could type in my retargeting. Remember I said take one of your posts on your fan page once per week and target it to, for instance, anybody who landed on your landing page. So for me, I'm going to put I logged into Tom's account, not my personal account. That's fine. Let's see, does he have right here? I'm going to, right here. We're going to target anybody who landed on our landing page. Okay? I put it on the countries that I want to target, change my age. I don't select any other interest, because we're just going to retarget the people that went to my landing page. I'm not going to put any interest, any behaviors. I'm going to come down here for post-page engagement. Yep, I'm just going to leave it post-page engagement right here. So now I'm going to have people engage with my post. So we'll pull this up. Just a second, it'll take a second to load. This is super important what I'm about ready to show you. Very, 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 very important. So important, it's just going to take a minute for Facebook to load. Just a moment. Yeah, leave that page. Oh, that's awesome. I know this guy really well. It's great to hear. All right, so we have this. We're going to go to the Insiders Club, or we're going to go to Social Media Ad Genius. That'll help me out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so number one for your homework for next week, still be driving likes. You should be split testing out your likes to figure out what image and what copy is giving you the most predictable likes, the lowest cost. Number one. Number two, you should be posting once per day. We're looking for a little bit of engagement. Doesn't have to be a lot. I mean, I have 22,000 fans, and we get 9 likes here, and another 2 likes here. You don't need a ton of engagement, but you do have to be posting at least once a day. All right. From what you're going to do is we're going to locate our best post, right? So I'm going to manage the page with my business manager. Okay. Insights. Now from Insights, there's 2 things that I want to take a look at. And I've mentioned this before. There we go. Scroll down. Pages to watch. Remember, this is underneath the overview. I want to watch pages that are similar to mine. Okay? This is going to help me, like Facebook for Business. This is going to help me see what some of the most popular posts are for the last week with fan pages that are related to my avatar. So this is always helping me produce content. I'm driving likes. I'm looking at different content, what's relevant to my avatar. And I'm looking to see what are some of the most popular posts that I had for the week. Okay? So let's take a look. Reach, because I want to look for my boost post, right? That has too much text. 452, 245, 202. Wow, that was a good one. 1.8K, I think it has too much words. Ah, right here. Did you know there are 15.6 million Facebook users in the US with a W-2 that pays them more than, let's take a look. Oh, that's one of our blog articles. Okay, great. So since it's a blog article, boost post, right? People who like your page and their friends. So I'm going to boost that post again once a week, 3 days. I'm going to do a minimum of $5 a day. I'm going to do 15 bucks. Okay. Total budget $15 over 3 days. It's going to go to fans to friends of fans. Okay, great. Now that I've done that, I go in and I hit create ad. Take a second for it to load. I'm going to go to boost post. Now I'm going to find that exact post. It's just taking Facebook a minute to catch up. I'm going to go find that exact post on Social Media Ad Genius. This is where you'd pull it up. I'd go find that exact post, and I would type in to retarget anybody who hit my landing page. And I would create a second ad set, because remember, your targeting is at your ad set. I would create a second ad set where you target the keywords that are getting you the best likes. You see how finding out what the best likes is really going to, do you see how getting your likes can start translating over to figuring out how do you get leads? It starts translating over to where do I advertise my content? That starts translating to, okay, now that I know where I can get good people who are qualified, who like my message, now I'm going to keep a blog in front of them. See, this just repeats over and over and over. This is super critical that we are getting page likes, and you should always have one like campaign running at all times for at least $5 a day. You should always be testing that like campaign to see if you can get that cost per like down. You should always boost one post a week, your most popular post, boost it to, again, fans and friends of fans. Next, you want to take that post, you want to do the boost post engagement, right? Boost your post, and you want to target it to your retargeting. And number two, you're going to send it to the place where you're getting the most inexpensive likes. So now you have likes going on, you are constantly doing your branding, and when you're doing your boost post, you can change the link. Before you boost the post, you can add a link to any of your posts, just like right here. Well, that's a little bit different because that's not a picture. Let me show you. This has too much text, but I could click here on the image, click edit. I could add a link down here if I wanted to do that. Okay? So we want to drive as many people as we can back to your website this week. So here's your goal. Create a split test for your like campaign. Do one boost post. Do your like campaign. Split test your like campaign. Next, make sure your audience pixels and conversion pixels are set up. I have additional videos inside of Social Media Ad Genius, or additional videos if you require additional help on how to install the audience and conversion pixels. It's the next thing for you to do. The third thing is by next week, you could even do this by Friday, but by next week, I want you to do a boost post where you're going to boost it to fans, friends of fans, to a retargeting audience, which may only be like $3 a day, and I want you to boost that post to the keywords where you're getting the cheapest likes at. Okay? That's going to be really important. Now, as we're doing that stuff simultaneously, you're going to see this momentum really start to build. Because what our goal is really going to be is sending people to your website to drive as much traffic as we possibly can. We're mainly, when we start wrapping up the training next week and going over some questions and stuff like that, we're going to, of course, always be running a like, always going to be doing engagement once a week. But 90% of your efforts are going to turn into increased conversions to your website, but we can't increase conversions to your website until you've had at least 100 people go to your website or 100 people become leads. So the likes, the engagement, get all your pixels set up, and then if you would like, you can also run an ad to send people to your website. And the ad you're going to use is some image that has worked for your avatar before or similar image, and you are going to use the keywords where you're getting the best likes to target for people to come to your website. So if you are getting the best cost per like from targeting entrepreneurs, you are going to click on send people to website. You're going to put in your URL to promote. Okay? Take just a second. All right. Our goal is type in your age and avatar, type in the interests that are giving you the best likes. Spend per day, $5 or $10 is fine. Clicks to website, it's the ad set, put in your images, okay? Choose a Facebook page. So obviously it's going to be your Facebook page. Whoops. I'm just going to choose one random one. It's fine. Headline, text, here's your call to action button, right? Shop now, learn more, sign up. It's going to be that little button down here, right? Really important. And then your description, and since you have your tracking pixel, you want to know from this ad, you want to know, for example, did we get a lead? So there you go. Run your like campaign, split test it out, run your boost post like I gave you instructions for, make sure your pixels are inserted, and run one website, a click to website campaign where you have a call to action button and conversion tracking pixel for your leads. It's a lot of homework, I know, but it'll take you, honestly, it took me 90 minutes to train it. It's probably going to take you, even fumbling around watching videos, it's probably going to take you maybe an hour, hour and a half of your time overall to split test a like campaign, do your boost posts, set up your pixels, because you're only going to have 1 or 2 pages to put them on anyway, and then run a website click. So I know there's a couple of questions that I have in here. Marina had to leave early, not a problem. Tried doing a dark post. Looks like the setup has changed. Michelle, I'm going to go a little bit more into dark posts next week when we do the Power Editor. I've covered a lot of stuff right here. I just don't want to lead anybody off track. But I will, well, here, because you're on the phone, and I just want to make sure that you get questions answered as well, too. So just a moment. I'm going to come up here to, oh, come on. Just a moment. Let me find mine. Can you see we have a couple of accounts that we derive our information from? There we go. I need to, let's just make this easy. Let's see if I can leave that page. Just a moment. All right, what other questions do we have? Keep typing when I'm looking this up. All right. So, perfect, Tony, not a problem. We will see you later, buddy. Let me know if you have any other questions. Not a problem. Have a great day, my friend. I'm kind of scared to go to a website as they disapproved last ad. Yeah, well, let's figure that out. It could have been in the wording on the ad. Now the thing is I want to double check, and as I'm pulling this up, Michelle, I want to double check. And please don't take this as an insult. I know that you won't. But you want to make sure you read through the terms of use. When's the last time you read through the terms of use? Because it changed recently. Would you mind, Michelle? When's the last time you read through the terms of use? They got some tricky words in there. I'll send you the link to the terms of use as well too. So Facebook advertising terms of use. This will help with some of the keywords that you may be wondering. I don't know what's wrong with my keywords. I was wondering the same thing with some of my ads, and then I didn't realize that Facebook updated their stuff again. Advertising guidelines. I think this is it. There's one page that's a lot more helpful than a lot of the others. Oh my goodness, they are changing this. Advertising guidelines. Full advertising guidelines. There we go. It's funny because there's not tons of them on here, but still. Yeah, go through the give, not a problem. I'm going to send this to everybody, send to all. Make sure everybody checks that out as well too. Because what you want to look at is you scroll on down, Michelle, Facebook references. Yeah, I had to change that a little bit as well too. Let's go unacceptable business model. No, that's not it. Software, pharmaceuticals, gambling, lottery, drugs, alcohol. Nah. It'll tell you in the targeting. It talks about online, making money online. But I'm not, including but not limited to multi-level marketing schemes or advertisements for scams. Basically what we want to do is really important is we will want to get people into your funnel for a contest versus saying, hey, it's network marketing. I mean, really, when you meet people for the first time anyway, if you're in network marketing, you don't tell people you're in network marketing. You start to ask them about them, ask them about their business, ask them what their goals are. We can really use the exact same principle on Facebook when we're running traffic. So pretty important. So make sure you check that out. Not a problem. I didn't mention anything about online. Michelle, would you mind sending me your page again? I think you put it in the group support. I can take a look at that here in just a second as well too. But I do want to show you really quick. Power Editor, this is kind of a little bonus training that you get today. It's in group. Okay, I'll take a look in the group. Just a moment. And then it locked up on me. All right, so contests. Just a moment. I'm completely frozen. Bear with me for just a moment. Let's just close some of this stuff out. All right. So Michelle, we will go over a dark post more next week, but just an FYI, you can create your campaign, right? So in your campaign, that's your campaign. Then you have to do an ad set. So I'm going to go that to test. So test ad set, and you'd fill in all the information below. And again, I'm going over this very quickly because I'm going to cover this more next week. But she was specific asking on ads. Create an ad. So test, choose my ad set. Yep. Ad name, test, dark post. Okay. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to, for instance, it's not going to allow me to show it for some reason. The great old Facebook. Okay, so there we go. So I've selected right here, create new ad, right? That's website URL, but I don't want to do a website URL. So what I want to do instead, existing posts, click this right here. this plus button. Create new unpublished page post or dark post. Second place you can do it, you can go, you can go to, why am I confused right there? So, hang on one moment. Yeah. It's because I'm in a different account. Why does Facebook change things? Let's go to this. And I'm going to go to, well, that's interesting. So I'm logged underneath my account, but I'm looking at Tom's account, and there's a drop down that typically goes here that allows me to manage fan pages. Manage pages. That didn't show up before. That was really weird. Here's all the pages that we manage, right? Lots of different pages, great. You select your page, create post. There's a link preview that you can fill out. We don't ever use photo as a dark post. They don't ever seem to work that well for us. I use video a lot, right? Select a video right here. Status, we don't ever do status ads. They don't work at all. And offers are absolutely worthless. Do not waste your money. If you want to spend your money on this, you're welcome to, or you can send it to me, or you can burn it. You're going to get the exact same result. Well, if you send it to me, I'll give you some value. If you burn it, I don't know. You're just going to get a bunch of smoke. Okay? So that's where we're going to create our dark post. All right. So it's in the group. Not a problem. Let's take a look in the group. And we are, there we go. For contest group, I'm going to close that out. All right. I'm going to travel to Utah in the mountains here the next couple of days. Hope I'm not getting sick. If we go drink some more water. Oh, we didn't talk about any of Travis's Seahawks stuff yet. Dang it. We'll talk about that later.
Let's not. You don't want me to get pent up. Get wound up.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so okay, so I wanted to see the video, and not everybody else is going to be able to hear their like to. Got that feeling of something.
Hi there, it's Michelle James, and today's Monday, and for those of you who follow me, you'll know that on Mondays I like to do my motivational videos. Now I promised myself every Monday I'm going to do Motivational Monday. So this morning I got off bright and early, all ready to go, and I got stopped in my post. Now, have you ever had those moments where you know that you've got stuff to do and you've got your goals set for the day, or you've got your plan of events that you want to do, and something happens to just throw you totally off track? Well, that's what happened to me this morning. Now it's 2 o'clock. I think it's 2 here in the afternoon.
I love that you're doing videos. Great job. Excellent job. I never did ask if you have a blog. If you do, you can embed your video post here, which is great to do, by the way.
That's Michelle James,
and then it'll help people like your page as well too. But I like that. Okay, so that looked fine. There's no link in the post. Now, did you say with just that video alone, just this advertising with no link, that they declined that? I do. That was on first ad. I'm not quite sure exactly what you mean by that. Blog. Could you just write the sentence over for me, please, so I can understand it, please? I'm missing something. I love the video. I love how open you are. I love that you're doing it. You look great in the video. Blog link was in the first ad. Okay. And your blog link is right here. Let's take a look here real quick. Because you may, unfortunately, I wonder what happened if you just uploaded another video. They may have tagged that video leading to, they may have found like, hey, this one video leads to a blog. that may be kind of interesting. Let's see here. I think I think what you may be getting flack for is this. The business model that took a 27-year-old from making $700 a month to $314,000 a month in less than 18 months. I think that's what Facebook may have a problem with, because you're not asking for an email opt-in. I think that's fine. All this stuff down here is fine. I wonder what would happen if you put an opt-in here and replace this. Yeah, I know that you deleted the video again, but the actual file itself, Facebook can identify the file size, how long it is. So like if you recorded a new video or edited that video and added in, I don't know if you're familiar with much editing, if you were to add in like, 3 seconds to the end that says, click down below for this, or go visit my blog here, I just wonder if it was a whole new file, what they would do. Yeah, I mean, because overall, starting an online business boot camp, like that's not a problem. This isn't a problem. This right here isn't a problem. The about me is not a problem. The baby boomers, this video. Actually, here's what I do. Take this video, move this to the top, right? Like I know that ideally we want this to the top, but we're being just Facebook compliant, right? I would book your spot. So let's see here. So I have that. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle James, and I'd like to thank you for clicking on the link to find out more information about
That's a great video.
the opportunity that I'm about to share with you. Now, I've been launching online for about the past four years or so, and
Here's what I would do. I would take this right here. You look great in that dress, by the way. And I'm not hitting on you, I'm just being respectful, by the way. I'm just, so click on this right here, right? I'm always careful. I always want to give compliments, but I'm always careful with it. I would take this, like this image right here, or this. So I'm taking a screenshot, I'm on a Mac, right? That photo right there, I would take that photo, I'm going to send it to you. So I'm just going to hit send all. It's a Dropbox link, okay? I would take exactly what I just sent you and replace this box right here. So the image that I just sent you, change that to right here, okay? And then I think that's it. Oh, you may need, are you still working your Empower business at all? Michelle, are you still working? No? You may want to take this out of here then. The problem is Empower Network has a really bad black mark on Facebook. They don't like it at all. So if you're not making any money off of it, and if you're not promoting it, delete it off your website, all their stuff. Hey, I know these. You get your picture taken with these guys. That is awesome. I didn't know you knew those guys. It was this guy's birthday last weekend. I was with him and I was with Brian and Todd last weekend. Brian's beard is now down to here, and his hair is down to here. And they're great friends of mine. We actually, Todd and I take jiu-jitsu together. They become really good friends of mine, so that's good to see. I love this picture right here. Again, I would replace that with your blog. Well, I don't know where that just came from. I would replace that up here, right here, right? That video's fine. What's this right here? I think that's fine too. It goes to Mo. That's fine. And then scroll on down. By the way, I guess that would be your plugin. Are these all yours down here? All these like boxes, are these all your advertisements that you get affiliate stuff off? Or is that controlled by someone else? I'm just curious where these boxes come from because I'm sure these take over to a different ads.
Is it AdBlade or something?
No. I don't know. Does AdBlade, do you make money with AdBlade? I mean, can someone make money with AdBlade if they put
Yeah, but
ads on there?
it's only like AdSense kind of thing. It's you know, if you're focused on lead gen
50 million visitors.
if you're focused on lead generation and selling your own product, which you should be, AdBlade will just detract from that. So
okay, some years. Okay, yeah. Try uploading the new video, see if that works. Make those couple of other adjustments to the site. Because other than that, I think your site's fine, but I think maybe that's their problem right there. So yeah, take that. You may have to change this later. I'm not worried about it right now, but just change that first picture and then see if that works. Maybe that can help. There you go. All right. I don't advertise anything else. Okay. Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah, because when I saw this stuff down here, I didn't think that you advertised anything else. That's why I wanted to ask. All right, so all good questions. Let me see what else do we have here. Head off, recording, browse through. Any other questions, comments, concerns, divine revelations? I mean, obviously we went long today, but I had a lot of stuff to cover. So again, make sure split test your light campaigns, get your boost post up. Make sure all of your pixels are in place, your conversion pixels and your retargeting pixels. And then from there, you want to start running website clicks to your offer. And we will be on Friday and on the Facebook if you guys have any other questions. Yep, that's it. Travis, that's all I see here. Thanks, everybody, for allowing us to go over. Really appreciate it. Travis, do you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. Obviously, you covered a lot today. So I will get this buttoned up and in the members area as soon as I can.
Sounds perfect. All right, everybody, you guys have a great week.